Johnny Trekkie here. This time I'm in Chicago, Illinois. Here's everything I did, starting with the Nightlife. Be sure to check out a comedy show at the world-famous Second City. Steve Carell, Dan Aykroyd, Tina Fey, Martin Short, Eugene Levy are just some of the famous celebrities that came out of here. The original House of Blues is right here in Chicago with various acts across various stages. We saw a very interesting horror burlesque show. The Green Mill is a great spot for jazz music and swing dancing. The Redhead Piano Bar is a great place as well too. Millennium Park is Chicago's massive outdoor park, covering 24 acres. This is where you'll find the famous Cloudgate sculpture, otherwise known as the Bean. This is also where you'll find the famous Clarence Buckingham Memorial Fountain. It's big and it's beautiful. You could easily spend a couple hours wandering the entire park. Art Institute of Chicago. This place is enormous. The museum has numerous rooms containing seemingly endless sculptures and artworks throughout different centuries, different cultures, and unique styles. I consider myself an art liker rather than an art lover. That said, I still spent well over 3 hours wandering and admiring the many great art collections here. Wrigley Field. I am personally not a huge baseball fan, but Wrigley Field has a lot of historical value, and it's a legendary Chicago landmark. It was too bad that baseball season was over, so we couldn't catch a live game, but we were able to do a walking tour. The tour guide was enthusiastic and energetic, giving endless facts and history about Wrigley Field and the Chicago Cubs. Overall, the tour was interesting, getting a behind-the-scenes look at the stadium, the field, and the inner rooms. But I personally thought it was all 30 minutes too long. But I'm sure you die-hard baseball fans are going to love this place. Navy Pier. Honestly, this place is a tourist trap and no real local spends time here. You'll see touristy shops, chain restaurants, overpriced restaurants, and gimmicky attractions. We were just here because we had some time to kill before our boat ride. Otherwise, don't bother coming here. Riverboat Architecture Tour. This is one of the best things you can do in Chicago. Even if you're not very interested in history or architecture, most people will still find this very enjoyable. The pleasant 90-minute boat tour does a deep dive into history and architecture of almost every skyscraper along the river. It's probably more info than you ever wanted, but most of it's pretty entertaining and easy to digest. And it's just all very beautiful. This is especially nice if you've been walking all day. Just sit back, relax, maybe grab a cocktail, and enjoy all the beautiful scenery. Cocktails were pretty expensive, $13 for an Irish coffee in fact. Next time, I might just bring my own booze. But I'll be discreet, of course. The Museum of Science and Industry. This is a great place for nerds and geeks, including myself. But it's definitely not for everyone. You're going to find a lot of old relics, such as old cars, vintage railroads, a huge model train diorama. It's pretty sweet. There's a whole section dedicated to cloning and genetics. You'll see some cute chicks, adorable mice, or are those actually rats? There's even a cool section on aeronautical sciences, with some cool old airplanes. You can even walk inside a cut-up old 727 Boeing. The coolest thing here was the old World War II German U-boat. This massive submarine was still largely intact and well restored. For an extra fee, you can even go inside with a guided tour and walk through a piece of well-preserved history. If you're a World War II history enthusiast like myself, you definitely want to check this out. And last but not least, be sure to get some of that famous Chicago pizza. Giordano's is a solid pick with several locations throughout the city, and they make a really good thick crust Chicago pizza. Pequod's pizza, however, is the very best in Chicago. It was even featured in Season 2 of Hulu's hit TV show, The Bear. Be sure to check out my other video, Chicago Food Tour. And that wraps up everything I did in 2.5 days in Chicago, Illinois. For more details, visit my website, johnnytrekkie.com, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Live long, travel, and prosper.